Hi Sagittarius, this is your December 2020 tarot forecast. So this is for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And for all my cross watchers, welcome. For everyone returning, yes, this is a new tarot deck. For my new watchers, I hope you enjoy this deck as much as I do. Alright guys, what's in store for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sagittarius. December 2020. Messages for Sagittarius. December 2020. Messages for Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Sagittarius. December 2020. So we have some strong Cancer energy here, or really having that cardinal spirit to just move forward. New home, new car, new travel situation. Full speed ahead though here. You could be dealing with a Cancer individual or have some Cancer in your own chart, or just dealing with some fourth house energy, right? Of course, that's the home, psychic energy. It's nurturing. It's the mother. We do have this Nine of Swords jumping out here as well. So there could be a lot of sleepless nights here, or some major concerns, major anxiety, possibly around a new home, workplace, or travel, about that Cancer individual or something having to do with the home. We'll see if it shows up in your reading today, guys. All right, so let's get out your Celtic cross. If something is a little bit wonky or needs more information, I do have a mini deck that I will qualify that with. And you have a couple of majors. You have a couple of strong personalities here. Could be dealing with a couple, or this could just be energy in your environment, someone that you're seeking. This is for the Venus Sagittarius, you can consider this a love romance reading. Otherwise, it's just general, right? Look at that. Finishing off with the Sun and the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So, guys, this is rather stunning. You do have a situation here that you need to move away from. Justice needs to be meted out. Justice needs to be balanced. But you finish with the Sun after this glorious star card. You have the Fool at the bottom of the deck. So I think maybe releasing yourself from some, excuse me, fear or doubt here could be significant for you, because with the Fool sort of underlying or being the basket that your reading sits in today for the month, this is really needing to take a leap of faith with a full heart, with no knowledge, right? This is interesting about the Fool, because the Fool isn't knowledgeable, but he does have a full heart and he is filled with hope. And when you finish a reading with your hopes and fears position being hopes and wishes and healing, and then your advice or outcome is the Sun, I think a brand new journey towards self-discovery and total freedom is either on the precipice for you or available to you. And I am a little teary-eyed about that, Sag, because this is so stunning. This is the ultimate freedom. However, it is a brand new beginning. It's the zero, right? It comes before anything else, even before the Magician. So this is a heart space. This is Pisces ruled, right? We have the heart space here. I think the Hangman is Pisces ruled. Sorry, let me get that right. The Magician follows him because the Magician can actualize. So the Fool is air ruled. So it has to begin with the head. It has to be a concept or an idea or thought. So you get to move this way and then actualize something new because of it. So it is something having to do with the mind, but you can mentally free yourself here to a brand new day, a brand new position. Really gorgeous energy here. This is how I know you're walking away from something that doesn't fulfill your needs anymore. We have the Justice card as the situation, crossed or challenged by the Eight of Cups. So, yep. And this Fool is right here, shiny, all shiny and new, saying it's time. There is nothing left to hold on to. It's not going to be catastrophic. I know you know exactly what it is you emotionally need to move away from, because we don't have a Tower. The Tower would show up if you're just completely unaware of something or ignoring something, and the universe is like, really? We've been trying to tell you this. So you're aware. You're acutely aware of what this is, that you're going to move away from emotionally. You're headed into, could be a difficult period here, an emotional difficult period, but it's going to be short-lived because you're heading right into the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is your, you get to relax, you get to celebrate, you get to maybe even overindulge in your emotional world or share happiness. You get to celebrate happiness. So it only occurs after you can leave the past behind you. And this is what needs to be set straight. This is what needs balance here with the Justice card, right? So you get to free yourself here. And I feel strongly here as well, by emotionally removing yourself from the situation, that is what is going to create balance. And if you're not aware of that already, I think that this is sort of helping to maybe confirm that. Like maybe if you were to do that, these positive things could be available to you. Now, it's not going to please everyone, right? There's going to be someone who's just not pleased with this decision of yours or your manifestation. There's Libra energy here, by the way. We have Cancer and Pisces energy over here, Aquarius. We have just the glaring sun, the solver of all problems, the happiest card in the deck, the Fool over here, of course, the air. So, I mean, like, you have pretty much air and water situated very, very prominently in the reading. You have a little bit of Pentacle energy here with the Queen. You have some Capricorn energy, status quo, your reputation back here. And then you have some Scorpio energy over here with the King of Cups, which is intense emotions. So I think that you could be finally in a place to accept your own emotional world, coming to terms with your own deep emotions or powerful emotions, and maybe not consider those a negative thing, or maybe using them to your advantage, or understanding that the depth, like a depth of feeling, it can be a positive thing. There could be healing needing to be managed around this. There could be hope and healing around a depth of emotion. But nonetheless, in the foundation is the Five of Swords. Crowning you is the High Priestess, right? So Five of Swords is really looking at, self-defeat. This is self-defeating communication, thoughts, concepts, the way you write, the way you speak, what was said, how it was said. There could be a winning at all costs sort of feel to the Five of Swords as well. With the High Priestess, I do consider her to be a little bit mysterious, so there may not be a rhyme or reason to why someone's mad or pissed off, or that, maybe you thought someone would really get where you're coming from, but they don't, and they're just going to argue with you. There may be a mystery here about why there is a sense of self-defeat or loss or argument. And it could become mysterious, or it could add to a mystery, or the argument itself could be mysterious to you. But for some reason, this has to manifest. I do believe in large part because you're doing what you need to do for you. And you know what, at the end of the day, Sag, that just can't please everybody. And I do consider this pretty low on the totem. Like, once we're under a 6 on the minor arcana, this could just be 5 minutes of your life. I don't think this is going to take up a huge portion of your life. However, I do think this situation could add to the mystery, or it could be a mysterious argument, or you could have anticipated it, or like made a plan B for it. Like, I'm going to do this and this is what I expect, but I'm going to like invent a couple of different ways this can go, and it'll be one of the ways that you think it'll go that, involves an argument or a self-defeat. So again, not the worst thing in the world. I do feel strongly that you're going to anticipate it though here. And someone even could invent that. You could even say you need to do something for yourself or your own happiness, and someone just has to, push back. And you're like, really? Like, I'm beyond that. I'm above that. I'm moving away from that. I don't even speak that language anymore. And it could just be that's part of it as well. Maybe that'll be a confirmation as well. Like, I'm going to say what I really need here, and this person or people react in a specific way that you kind of had a plan B or plan C for, and you're like, oh, okay, I see you. I see you. Now I know I'm doing the right thing because I was hoping you were going to do this, but you went and did this. So now it's just confirmed. Now I know. Okay, but there is a little bit of a mystery here. And the mystery could even be that, like, how could you have anticipated that? Maybe you know yourself, or maybe you know these people or that person better than you anticipated. Maybe you have a better sense of intuition or psychic energy than you had thought. I don't think it's a negative thing here. You might even be able to have fun with it. And yeah, and it's going to prove itself to be an obvious thing. You'll be like, oh, okay, I made the right choice there. Here in your recent past is the Queen of Pentacles. Here's our Capricorn energy. So this energy gets to grow things long lasting, permanently, but slowly. She's also extremely receptive, and she's incredibly nurturing. I wouldn't say in the sort of heart space way, in the emotional, say, psychic way that the Queen of Cups would necessarily, but she can be a little bit self-absorbed, I find. No diss to my my Queen of Cups peeps out there, but and there's a time to be over focused on your own emotional world and your own, you know, sense of like romance and poetry. But this is a very practical energy. This is very practical. This is a person or energy. If it's not a Capricorn, it's definitely an energy of yours or someone in your environment. This is past energy, recent past, and this is stability, great stability, but it's also, like I said, receptiveness. This person does really well in supportive roles, whether it's family, finance, gardening, anything having to do with children, anything having to do with working with the hands, crafts, food, in the helping services. I do find all of the Pentacle energies, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, to be in, to be service orientated. So yeah, this is a really nice, generous, very warm energy as well, I find. And I can give the Cups the same, the same type of attitude. So it's not like the heat that the Wands brings, but this is a warmth, right? There's a generosity here. There's a lot of meaning. Like, this person has a lot of meaning in what they say and do, and they expect that from others. Very thoughtful. In your near future is that King of Cups. So now you have this really intense Scorpio energy. We have 10th house back here, right? This is status quo. This is public reputation, banking institutions, your public face. This is also aging. The 10th house is considered the father, right? Paternal energy. It's quite mature. King of Cups here is Scorpionic energy. It's 8th house ruled. Okay, and we're looking at like emotional depth. This is emotional intensity. This person or energy can be accused of withholding their emotions. So regarding these 8 of Cups here, I think it could be a cross between, so I could be reading for 2 groups of you, by the way, as well. There's 2 ways to read these 2 energies. Obviously, this is the challenge. This is the near future. So it could just be about recognizing what it is you need to let go of, even if it's deep. Even if it's deeply buried, recognizing that and being willing to move on from something that was unfulfilling in order to mature emotionally here. So that's what I see the most probable outcome here, or means to this near future with your intense emotions. It could be also that you are meeting this person or meeting with this type of energy. So someone who brings a lot of emotional depth or allows emotional depth. Also, again, with mystery, right? The depth of emotion and feeling is so deep that it would be about bringing it to the surface, feeling safe and confident about bringing this type of intensity to the surface in your near future. But again, 8th house, sex, death, and rebirth over here. We have Phoenix energy over here. So I really, more than anything, I really feel like you're just, particularly in the first 2 weeks here, guys, you're just going to be able to emotionally mature. There's just a great deal of emotional maturity here. And it's about balance. It could even be between the practical and the emotional world for you, right? I mean, you've got 2 really high quality court cards here in your recent past. You have this really mature, perceptive, warm, feminine kind of pentacle practical energy, and then you have this really intense, could be accused of secretive, but I mean, this person is only going to keep secrets to protect themselves. They're not going to do it to hurt people. But this isn't your intense and emotional world, and here's a Phoenix situation. You get to rise from something. The intensity I do find with Scorpio energy or 8th house energy also brings a great deal of challenge to our emotional world, and 10 to 1 with regard to the people closest to us, as opposed to, say, a peer group, like if you were 3rd house. So I would say there could just be some challenges here within a family unit or with one person who you are close to, who you consider family. But I think that your level of emotional depth personally is going to develop here, and you will become stronger for it. So we have some Wands energy back here in how you see yourself and how others see you. So how you see yourself is someone who has a lot of loyalty, able to offer new beginnings, a spark of interest. There is a hopeful look on the horizon. This is spirited, flirty energy. It's fire energy, just like you, Sag. The pages are all mutable, so this is actually your energy here. So how you see yourself is pretty much, you're in the zone, like you're feeling yourself. You feel good. Even though you've had this emotional maturity here, you're still able to be, pretty childlike here. You're able to look at new horizons. You're not afraid. And this is part and parcel. I do think it's because of this guy, right? You have, even if you don't know what's next, okay, you at least have the knowledge that something wonderful awaits. And that's what I see. This guy's so hopeful. He's so warm. He's full of energy. He's ready for the next adventure. So it's actually quite exciting here. Exciting energy, but it is in its early stages. It is rather youthful. I think there could be some naivete involved here as well, but hey, you know what? When you're heading out into new pastures, sometimes it's better that way. And that way you get to learn as you go and learn for yourself. And then how others see you is the 9 of Wands. Something looks like you're getting wounded here. There's the wounded soldier energy. So the 8 of Wands would have been really, really nice, rushing communication. If this is a love reading for you, it would be, hot and heavy communication, everything you wanted to hear. There could even be a lot of sexy times. But the 9 here in how others see you is like, how do I keep this going? How do I uphold this part of the relationship? How do I see this through? Is this adding or depleting from my energy? Is this going to be worth it? Those type of questions here with how the others see you. And it could just be something that you took on as well. Like if you were ready to take something on that was difficult, then this is part and parcel. Like you can expect to carry a kind of a heavy load here and to be defensive and to be a little bit wounded and be stronger for it. Like I said, right? You're growing. You decided, or there's an avenue or an openness here for a little bit of intensity. So yeah, there's some effort that goes into that. There could even be a little bit of an internal battle that goes with that. But without a tiny bit of struggle or knowing what you are made of in a trial or a crisis, how else do you know? How else do you know unless you go through it? And I don't find this incredibly troubling. I would rather see Wands than Swords here anyway. At least the Wands, you're getting something done. You're not just sort of sitting in your head. So you're definitely getting something done here. And your hopes and fears, the Star, like I said, beautiful, hopeful, healing energy. You have some Aquarius influence here. So that is Uranus ruled. If you have, maybe check out what sign your Uranus is in. There might be some healing opportunities in that area. Let's say your Uranus is in Virgo. It would be 6th house energy. There could be some work, service, health, or even routine or habits as an example that needed looking at, that needed healing. But yeah, check out where Uranus is in your chart. See, that could be where the most healing needs to take place. But nonetheless, this is just a call, right? This is an opportunity to seek healing. I also find star shows up when we have some star qualities. When we're put in the spotlight, it's no accident that the sun comes right after it. These are opposites on the zodiac. The sun is technically ruled by the sun. It's not ruled by Leo. But if we were to take the sun as ruled by Leo in the zodiac and the star ruled by, the 11th house ruled by Aquarius, which it is, these are opposites on the wheel. And it's like, this is a real star quality. This is showing up, glowing up, being put in the spotlight, celebrating the spotlight, getting everything you want, pure success, healing, hope, 11th house energy, which also adds to your community, brotherhood, sisterhood, humanity at large. But yeah, this sun showing up at the very end for your outcome or advice is, there could be a child, a new child involved here, if this has to do with a child or children. It could very well. You know, this is an incredibly stable, life-giving card. It's life-altering, right? It's the happiest card in the deck. So let's get a qualifier for what's going on here with the Five of Swords, and then we'll get your oracles for you. So tell me more about the Five of Swords. Okay, another Five of Swords, sure. Okay. Tons of swords, no problem, right? Totally. So we have the 5, we have the Knight, and we have the 6. So yeah, just basically at least one person, or possibly a group of people, because there's the 5s are showing up twice, so there's definitely someone who's getting pissed off here. They're losing or failing at an argument, there's self-defeat, dissatisfaction with oneself, low self-esteem, pretty crappy energy. But I do think it's someone around you, and they just don't like what's going on. I don't see the Page of Swords here, guys, but I do have the Knight of Swords with 2 5s and then the 6. I'm going to suggest that there is just someone who is a naysayer. They're in your ear. They are bringing you down. God forbid this is you doing it to someone else. Don't do it to someone else. And don't do it to yourself if this is all about you, Sag, and this is just you in your own head. This is all thoughts and conversations and ideas. With the 2 5s, I'm just looking at conflict for what? The Knight of Swords is like, I'll fix this, but makes things worse. And then the 6 of Swords is saying, you know what, can we just cut our losses and move on? I would also say that there's a very real possibility of group chatter. There's just someone who's chatting too much. At least one person is in your ear about what they think you should do or not do about your emotional world, about balancing something, about possibly investing, about where to put your emotional energy. Could even just be information, like people bringing in for information that doesn't mesh with what, feel to be true, or that you can, identify to be true for you. Because you have experience here, right? Like, we are dealing with court cards. The court cards are fairly mature when you're looking at kings and queens. I mean, these people have seen and done a few things. So they're not naive. This guy's a little bit naive, but I mean, he's got a good heart. He's exciting. Wow. Yeah, and it's part of this argument that does help you grow, or I don't see it being out of nowhere. I'll put it that way. I think you see this coming, and I think you might even see this as something that needs to be said or done or completed or sussed out. I feel like you've thought about it quite strongly, in fact. So give it a couple different outcomes, pretend there are different ways it can go, and you probably won't be surprised. But yeah, those 2 5s. Self-defeat, low self-esteem. Just make sure what you're saying is true and what information you're getting from others is true. Like I said, there is a mysteries there. So if you don't have all the facts, or if someone doesn't have all the facts, maybe just forego the conversation altogether, because it's just going to go in circles and cause more problems. And, you know, it'll just be time to say, we need to move away from this for our own sanity. Forgiveness is a big part of this here. I totally feel like this is part of the hope and healing over here. It could just be of yourself, Sag. Like I always say, we all have a relationship with ourselves, and relationships with others in our environment. So some level of forgiveness here of yourself or others. We have 2 jump out of this deck. We have playfulness. You 2 recapture romance. Allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And you deserve love. You are lovable. So yeah, I think in terms of, how you see yourself, this is how you're coming across. This is how you're presenting yourself. Someone who is very attractive. Someone who is very fun, has a great, at least, sense of loyalty, and offers a lot of excitement, a lot of playfulness. Porcupine is speaking about innocence. This is such a gorgeous energy, because I do think that part of what we have here, especially at the end for you, and particularly with the Fool, is this sense of, innocent adventure. Like, there's being naive, and then there's being innocent. And I think that innocence can actually work to your advantage, especially if you know who you're dealing with. And this could be part of it as well, like cutting off someone who you just know you can't trust. And then thinker. Yeah, make sure that you're your own best friend and you're the positive voice in your own head. Make sure you get that information before you share or accept it. And, think positively here. Think positively about forgiving someone or being forgiven. Maybe someone's reaching out because they need an apology from you. And maybe that apology, there could be some humility around this, whether it's you or someone else, because this self-defeat and this low self-esteem here isn't about connection. It's not about that Libra balanced energy. So something definitely needs to be balanced out here, particularly the first 2 weeks of the month here, guys. But otherwise, I see absolutely stunning energy, both overall for you and particularly at the end of the month with this Sun energy. So congratulations. Beautiful reading for you, Sag. If you have a second to comment, let me know how this works out for you. And subscribe, share, and like. And I'll see you in the next video for your sign. Bye for now.